loneliness is just a detoxing period. You're not lonely, you're
Mm-hmm.
detoxing. And you're unlearning all the negative things associated with love that you shaped your understanding on based on your experiences. Hey, good evening, Latoya. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited, and it's an honor to just be here for this real conversation with you and whoever's watching.
Appreciate you. You're so sweet.
Thank you.
For those of you who are watching or tuning in to be a part of this conversation, it's a living conversation, right? I started asking intentional questions a little over a year ago when I was getting to know one of the last people that I was truly trying to know with the intent of dating. And that sparked a whole slew of questions, not just for themselves, like for them themselves, excuse me, but for me as well. And this podcast is in alignment with a game that will be coming out to you soon. It's titled Reviving the Art, Starting with the Heart. And the focus of it is to revive the art of communication, revive the art of conversation within individuals that you either know or want to know, and even within yourself. Okay. So we're going to start with one of the questions from the deck and see where the conversation takes us. And listeners, viewers, feel free to chime in as you watch, as you listen down below, comment below if it resonates with you. I may say that again towards the end, but I wanted to put that out there as a preface. Okay. So, Latoya, your question is, what do you want your relationship with yourself to look like?
Mm, Good question. Um, I want my relationship with myself to reflect whatever my creator has in mind for me. And coming from a Christian background, I believe what God says I am. And so that's what I want to reflect out to myself. Like when I look in the mirror, I want to say, I'm created in God's image. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am more than a conqueror. Like these things that I tell myself, I want to believe them so deeply that I don't settle for anything less for myself.
That was you coming out swinging. Okay. I hear you loud and clear, sis. And it sounds like to me that you are wanting your relationship with yourself to be affirming and walking in the likeness of God and walking in being all that God says that you are, right?
Exactly, yes.
So, what does that look like for you on a day to day?
To be honest, a lot of times it looks like denying myself of things that are harmful to me.
Mm.
Like, for example, I like sweets. Like, I like to eat sweets. But I
Hmm.
know I can't eat it every day, or I can't indulge in that too oft as often as I'd like to, because I know it'll ruin the body. And the body, as the word says, is a temple for the Holy Spirit, and we only get one. So we have to respect it and not do things that are harmful to it. That's just one
Yeah,
example.
I get that. I understand. So kind of changing gears a little bit. Do you think that it is important and necessary for you to have a strong relationship with yourself in order to have strong relationships with others in your life?
Oh, absolutely. You can't
Why?
pour from an empty cup. You're because if you're not good within yourself, how are you going to help other people? You
Mm,
know?
hmm.
How if you can't speak life into yourself, if you don't believe that these things that God says or your creator says about you, if you don't see yourself as being able to conquer the hard things, then how are you going to feed that on to other people? It's just, I don't believe it works that way. So,
Facts.
yeah.
I get you. I'm with you when you're right. I get you. I will say for me, um, what I want my relationship to look like within myself. I want, hmm, that is a great question.
Yes, it is.
I share that desire to have God at the center, at the root of everything that I do. And also, from doing that will stem me being healthy. I want there to be positive self-talk. I want there to be mm, areas where I position myself to succeed. Like you said, with the foods and whatnot. I'm a big girl. So, and I've always been a big girl. I love sweets too. And denying myself isn't necessarily the funnest thing to do. And I don't
Right,
always.
right.
Not perfect. I'm far from it. Like in no area of my life is Vanessa perfect, okay?
Right.
But and also I would like to see myself continue to build and give myself grace. Like I always tell people that I am my biggest cheerleader, but I'm also my toughest critic. And I don't
Wow,
necessarily, yeah, I don't want
that's
to
good.
like negatively criticize myself because I have a human moment. Like,
Right. And we all have them. We all
yeah,
have them.
exactly. Right. So it's like I want to build, continue in building such a relationship with myself that I can affirm myself out of feeling down, out of if I'm in a negative headspace, talking myself out of that, affirming myself either via scripture, scriptural affirmations, recalling all that God says that I am, or just, even when I'm not feeling well, I don't want to speak negativity over myself because what we say is what is. And
Yep.
so I want my life to reflect that. I want the way that I treat myself to be reflected in the way that I treat other people. The golden rule, do unto others you would have them do unto you, but in a different wavelength you do to yourself. Creating a space for other people to treat you with that same regard. And I think that that's vital. Like you are the first example, right? When you meet somebody new, or even people that you've known for however length of time, like your family members, you kind of teach people by how you treat yourself. And if they see
Hmm.
you, not holding that safe space within yourself to set yourself up for success or to grow and flourish, are they really and genuinely going to be that for you? So,
Right.
I mean,
And
ultimately,
another thing,
yeah, I'm sorry. Go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. You go ahead, you're
Yeah.
right.
No, you're fine. Go.
I was just gonna say, and the thing about it is, at the end of the day, you have to live with you. You know what I mean? Like you have to, from the moment you wake up to the time you go to sleep and everything in between, you have to live with yourself.
Absolutely.
And so life is gonna be so much harder if you don't learn to love and care for yourself.
Right. It is. It truly is. And I think, Latoya, that was a whole word you just said, first of all. Because life, there are so many obstacles already stacked up against you to try to make you fail or make you question, your value and make you question whether or not you're going to be successful. We don't need any other entity outside of ourselves or within ourselves to say those negative things. And so you really said a whole word that hit me. And it's important that we have that mindset, creating a safe space for ourselves within ourselves. And I think that really sets a tone of how we move through this life. Now, granted, will we always get it right 100%? No. Are we going to need help sometimes? Yes.
Right.
Staying deeply rooted and remembering like who you are, whose you are, and we can go into that too. Because I'm quick to preach. But But, I find myself in certain seasons of life where I don't know if we can talk about this too. I can go on tangent after tangent. But when I'm in a season of being positive so consistently and intentionally and going, I hit a wall where I need a reset, which
Mm.
I've had that recently, and I have to go back and stare myself in the mirror. Like thanks to one of the therapists I've had. By the way, guys, I'm an for therapy. Um, it's literally helped me and saved me in a lot of ways. Different, I've had a few different types of therapies, but anyway, that could be a topic for another day. Uh, but I've literally had to stare myself in the mirror and affirm myself, whether I felt like it, whether I perceived it to be true or not, starting with the affirmations that weren't necessarily biblically based, but now I do use the ones that are biblically based because that is who I want to be. I want to be all that God called me to be. And I am that, you know? Um, like if you look up what the last part of my name means, well, last part of my first name, it literally translates to miracle in Hebrew. Nobody would tell you to do that if, if you were just an everyday type of person. I am a
Hmm.
miracle, are miracles, right? And so treating yourself like you are that, like you are that chick, that one, that queen, that king for my fellas that are watching, like is important. And that doesn't necessarily mean for us to go around being conceited and cocky and walk around like our stuff don't stink. Like
Right, right.
I think that that just means that you confidently move in knowing who you are, knowing that you are becoming the best version of yourself, but as you're doing that, like you're already great. Um, Simply because you make the choice to be great. And so a question for you, Miss Latoya.
I'm
uh,
ready. I'm ready.
I'm throwing at you, girl. Okay. A question for you is, in your most recent relationship, romantic relationship, do you feel like you treated yourself like you loved yourself?
Um, I'd say yes and no. It's because I say yes because, hmm, can I backtrack on that answer?
Absolutely. Yes.
I'd say no, to be
Mm.
honest.
Okay.
And just to share a little bit, I was so caught up in the we of it that I
Mm.
kind of lost the I or the me of
I have to throw my pen.
it. Like I was so in my most recent relationship, I was so caught up in how can we evolve? How can we be the best for our relationship that I lost. I don't want to
Mm.
say that I completely lost myself, but I forgot what I love to do
Yeah.
because I was so supportive of the we in it and not the
Yes.
me in it.
Yes. Understood. That's real. That's real. And I appreciate you for sharing that and being truly vulnerable in that moment. I've had my experiences too. I've done the same. I think that a lot of us viewers, you tell me, agree that there have been a lot of instances in the process of growing and learning what a healthy relationship can look like, where we've kind of put ourselves on the back burner a bit for the sake of the actual relationship with another person. And I think that it's important. I think that's why I added that question in the card deck. Um, I think it's important to know and learn, like, what does that mean to you? How does that resonate with you? Like, what does loving yourself look like when you're single? What does it look like when you're in a relationship? You know, like what does it look like when you're in the in between, just talking to people? To me, and this may be an uncommon, unpopular opinion.
Right. Opinion, yeah.
But to me, my sleep is precious.
No, that's real. That's real.
Like, I know that I'm doing for me when I wake up feeling rested. I know that I'm loving on me when I know that I've left yesterday's burdens in yesterday and that I start the
Mm-hmm.
day anew. When I try to carry every weight of the world on my shoulders into the next day, I'm not taking care of me. I'm not loving on me. And so I think that a part of the reason I've been in this season of singlehood, is for the realization to learn how to love me and how to build that strong foundation within myself so that when the time comes for, you know, my boo to seriously engage with me with building a foundation with them, like I I know now what I need for me, like, because I can't depend on another person to give me what I can give me. That's codependency, right?
Mm.
Like, and that's not necessarily healthy. Again, maybe an unpopular opinion. I don't want to be codependent. I want, because God forbid my person leaves this earth before I do, right? Who gonna pick me up off the floor?
Right. And it makes it so much harder for you to be independent in that moment because you are so codependent on that person.
Right. And not even just that, like that's exhausting on your partner.
True.
Like for you to expect them to always give 100% to loving you and pouring into you, and you not pouring 100% into yourself.
Right.
I struck a, I know I did, because I struck a nerve within the older version of me, like a younger, you know what I mean? Another version of who I used to be.
Right, right,
I no longer want to do that. I know that that's part of what added to the dysfunction in my last relationship. Been single for about 4 years now. Happily, Started out that way. No, I didn't. Not at all. Because, I love love and I love being loved on. But I had some lessons to learn.
right, 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 right.
Um, but yeah, and you can chime in on this one as well. I think that in order to truly say that you love other people, you have to start with loving yourself and not the superficial type of love. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, well, I agree with you, first of all. Um, because if you I feel like you have to be fully loving yourself to the extent that you can stand on your own 2 feet.
Yes.
And that's not always the easiest thing to do. In
It
fact, it's very hard.
is a
It's very
challenge.
hard, but I feel like in time you'll see that the growth, the internal work, it was all worth it. Because when that person does come into your life, you'll see that I don't have to be codependent on you. And I don't, this may sound harsh, and if you guys disagree, it's okay, but I don't need you in my life, but I want you in
Come
my
on. Come on. Come on. What do kids do these days?
life. All right, with the
Figure class.
finger.
Y'all
Like
are
I'm
probably talking
choosing
about,
you,
right. Absolutely. And
you
that's
know?
what Another question in the card deck, and we don't have to talk about it right now, but is what is love? Love is a choice. And so,
Hmm.
yes, first of all, I choose to love God. I
Hmm.
choose to love me. And then I choose to love her, right? Like, I choose to love whoever my person is. And I choose to love my family. I choose to love my clients. I choose to love my viewers. Like, it's a choice. It really is,
Yeah.
right? And so I had to learn that too, though. Like in this period, Toya, in this period of being single, baby girl, I have been learning so much. And I used to look at singleness as loneliness.
Hmm.
But my bishop, the people's bishop, if you look up that reference, you'll see who I'm talking about.
Right, right.
um, taught me that loneliness is just a detoxing period. You're not lonely, you're
Mm-hmm.
detoxing. And you're unlearning all the negative things associated with love that you shaped your understanding on based on your experiences. And that stems from childhood. That stems from pre-teenhood, pre-adulthood, and then your adulthood. Like unlearning and unraveling all those layers of what we thought from watching TV shows, movies, all the, things when it comes to the different levels of romance, right? Like, and I am a full advocate for people taking their time to, fully shape and become their best selves in terms of loving themselves, right? So that they can go
Hmm.
out and be a good citizen to somebody else. Like, even if you're not necessarily dating them, chivalry, hold the door open, okay? It's not calling time,
Right.
hold the door. It's not.
Right.
And so I think that the even deeper part of this conversation, what is love? Like what does it look like? This is just a branch of that question. And who knows, maybe
Hmm.
you'll be back and that'll be the question that we choose for next time.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that for me personally, I want my person to love themselves, to know what it means to love themselves for the days where maybe I can't give them um, you know, something that they're needing, but they can give it to themselves. Or maybe they don't want it from me, but they can give it to themselves. Like
Yeah.
I'm there to help, along the way. I don't want the person to be reliant, like I want it to be like an asset. Like whoever I marry, I want her to add on and enhance my self-love, like support me, you know,
Hmm.
not necessarily to always agree with me either, because I'm not always right.
You must admit.
I have to.
Right.
But I think that I also believe that it's an ongoing process in learning what love looks like because that could
Mm.
change too. Like I hope that it changes in the positive, way with the that trajectory of it having a positive growth effect on what love looks like for a self or others. But yeah, I want your 2 cents on that as well when it comes to maybe what you're praying for in your person. Or if you're not, like that's another big question. What are you praying for in your person? Like when it comes to the L word.
The four-letter L word. Um, so for me, I definitely want that person to love themselves. Um, I want them, I want that person to be so secure, not in a conceited way,
Mhm.
but in a way that says, I know who I am, and because I know and love myself so much, I can offer this love to you too.
Hmm.
And for me, for my side of it, like the self-love part of it, I want to be so secure in myself too that I say, well, I love myself and I love you too, but I don't want it to be your responsibility to teach me how to love myself.
Hot.
So
If I wasn't hot before, I'm hot right now. Jesus. Okay.
like we can work
Over.
together,
Hmm.
like we can work together to help each other grow in that love for our own selves, but it's not their responsibility to make me feel love for myself.
That's gonna make somebody mad, and I ain't even mad at it. Okay. That is absolutely right from where I stand. It is not another person's responsibility to teach me how to love me or to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not their responsibility to be the root. There we go. To be the root
Right.
of self-love. It is not at all. Now, it is a beautiful thing when they build on the initial, understandings and perceptions, perspectives, viewings of how I see myself. Like, I love that. Yes, affirm me, honey. Like,
Right. Words of affirmation.
like, and then we get into love languages with that, which is
Hmm.
another question, viewers, listeners. We'll get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, But you said a whole word that is our primary responsibility to provide that for ourselves. That is a need. It's not so much a desire, but it is a need for survival because this world is it's a mess. I'm gonna just call it that. It's a mess. It's a lot of messed up people. It's a lot of messed up situations that we find ourselves in. Um, a lot of things that we've settled for previously, like settling for mess, for breadcrumbs, for like, ugh.
Right. Right.
But I think that understanding that it is your responsibility to have that for yourself and truly understand what that looks like for you changes the game in how
Hmm.
you move in not just in relationships, like not just in romantic relationships, let me rephrase, but in your workforce, like in your family relationships, in your community, whatever it is. Like for me, I had to get to a point going back to the whole codependency talk where I truly had to find what I loved about me, you know? Like after my last relationship ended, I got myself in therapy because I knew that I was in a dark place. I needed help. And that's why I'm such an advocate for it. I needed help. Okay. Like I was depressed. I was going through it. Like it was bad.
Hmm.
I can laugh
Hmm.
about it, but
Right.
the girl was going through it. No, no, like I'm not the only one who's been there. I know your story. I know, all the things from people that I've spoken to about this topic. But as a part of my therapy, I chose to further myself. I chose to get up out the bed. I chose to sing again. I chose to start dancing. Y'all started pole dancing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Not for money.
Right. Right. Not hating on people who do. I'm just
Right, right. Y'all, don't do my foolishness with the clips or whatever, please.
saying.
But no, I started doing it it was a form of therapy. Dance is an art, it's therapeutic. And the one thing that I enjoyed about it was the way the studio was set up and the way that the instructor would kind of guide us through the sessions. That it was focused on me focused on me. I didn't have any reason to look at anybody else other than then the instructor who had experience for however long, many years, whatever, months, whatever, and myself. I really had to look at myself. And in the pole fitness world, it's encouraged for you to have body positivity. And I was a bigger girl
Mm.
than I am now. Like I'm proud of myself in the gains that I've made via weight loss and becoming more active and healthier. Like I don't necessarily want to be skinny. Anyway, that's another conversation. Again, y'all, I have to stay focused. Um, but not that there's anything wrong with being skinny. I just don't want that for me. Like I like my curves. I love my curves. Um, anyway. So I I brought that on as a part of my self-love journey, right? Like because I was looking at my growth from where I started into where I am now. Like I started that like maybe almost 4 years ago, pole dancing. Wow. And
Wow. Yeah.
and I've looked into maybe becoming a pole instructor, pole fitness instructor. I thought about it like a summer ago or something like that. I applied, but I don't think I followed through with it. Maybe later. Mm. I'm a Jill of all trades. Um,
Love
but
it.
yes, but it taught me a lot. And I started writing music. I started writing songs to express myself. I got a certification in Charlotte. That's where I was living at the time. Um, and I really picked up the pieces. I started writing the affirmations on the mirror of my bathroom and saying them to
Mm.
myself like daily until I believed it. And so I picked up the pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't, and at the time, y'all, I was living with my ex. So imagine
Mm-hmm.
you ended about a 4 year relationship with the person you thought you were going to marry, and you live with them for a whole year. So,
Ooh, that's
girl,
ooh.
y'all, when I say I was not functioning by the seat of my own string, mm-mm.
Mm.
You can't tell me God ain't real. I'm just saying. Right. Yeah, and that's a conversation for another time. But yeah, I want to ask you this final question, and I'm gonna call it a night. Um, but what are some ways that you have revived or improved in your self-love?
Mm. Good question. Definitely by prayer and faith. Also by journaling. Journaling has helped me a lot because it helps me to just get everything out there
Yeah.
without judgment, without holding back, without feeling like I need to sugarcoat things.
Mhm.
I just put it on the paper and let it go. I feel like also walking in nature has helped me a lot too, because when I look and see, and I like to think about things in nature in itself. Like you see a tree and you see, and I've told you this before in just like our personal one-on-one conversations, but you
Yeah.
see a tree and you think of how it was originally just a seed and the pressure that it had to go through in order to go grow into a tree.
Come on, Division.
And I think, right. And so I think about life in that way and how I have to go through things and I have to push through that difficulty and I have to push through the hard times in order to really find myself again. Like you said, unlearning these things that I was taught or things that I picked up through the environment and just, hug myself, give myself that love and say, you're worth it to work on yourself. And I'll just end it there.
Period. Period, Queen. Period.
Yes. So.
Yeah. 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 I'm speechless a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. But that was perfect. the way that you spoke that. And I truly, truly hope that helps somebody out there who's watching, who's listening, who may have either found themselves in a similar position previously or even right now. Um, guys, this is a safe space. Chime in below in the comments, and I hope that you stay tuned for the next episode. Later.
Yes. Bye.